Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back again with another video today. Did someone say double upload? And it's all because Fabrizio Romano has given us the here we go on Erik ten Hag to Manchester United. Yes, he has tweeted giving us that information. Erik ten Hag to Man United, here we go. Agreement on contract now set to be completed. Mitchell van der Gaag, priority candidate for coaching staff. Ajax and Man United in contact to discuss €2 million clause. Announcement timing depends on this, not today or tomorrow, but we are hearing it could be this week after the Dutch Cup final was this weekend. All that's left is for Ajax to wrap up the league title, having lost that game against PSV, and now obviously Erik ten Hag set to come to Manchester United. We'll discuss that plus more here on AdamMcKola TV. But before we get stuck into that, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, liking, commenting, sharing, all that jazz. We'll have so much more coming your way around this announcement, around the end of the season. Hopefully United can get top four, although I'm not holding my breath on that one. And then pre-season, as well as we're heading out to Australia and Thailand to follow Manchester United and meet you guys out there too. So make sure you're keeping it locked. But of course, Erik ten Hag to Manchester United, here we go. And €2 million, what's that, 1.5 million or something roughly like that? Let's say £2 million, 1.5 million. Manchester United getting Erik ten Hag. And that could be Manchester United's most valuable bit of business that we have done, and one of the cheapest bit of business that we've done post Sir Alex Ferguson as well. And bringing in Erik ten Hag, unlike David Moyes, although David Moyes was considered someone that had a future, and at the time I was all on that David Moyes train. When you look at Manchester United's managers, Van Gaal that we appointed, his best days were behind him. We kind of knew that. We were hoping he could set us up for the future, but his best days were behind him. We loved that day at Wembley, but it didn't go to plan. Mourinho as well, you look at him, his best days were behind him. Yes, we had that great day out at Stockholm and another great day at Wembley, but his best days were behind him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a questionable appointment at the time. Many of us questioned it. Although we were fully behind a club legend, we did question whether it was the right choice, especially when an up-and-coming manager like Pochettino was around and potentially open to taking the Manchester United job. We didn't go for an up-and-coming manager then, but yet we have gone for this time around. And Erik ten Hag, for me, is one of the most exciting coaches about. Obviously, I'm someone that has wanted Pochettino and wanted Pochettino for a long time and in this summer. But equally, ten Hag excited me. When you look at the way that his teams play football, when you look at the way he competed in Europe with, you know, when he was beating Real Madrid, getting to the semi-finals, developing the players that he was developing. When you look at all those things, you think, I want that manager at Manchester United. He's highly regarded, competes on the big stage, and of course he's got that winning mentality as well, having won 2 Eredivisie titles so far, potentially a third coming up in the next month or so, a couple of cups too, and of course, like we say, those runs in the Champions League. Now, there's still question marks. There's always going to be question marks about any manager coming to the Premier League, up and coming manager testing themselves out. He needs to be given time to implement his ideas and his thoughts and his, you know, his processes and all those kind of things, and he needs to be given the power as well, because what we've seen over the last couple of years, you know, whether we agree with some of those decisions at the time or not, Oli and Mourinho and Van Gaal, sometimes they had their one hand tied behind their back. We've seen that with managers at Manchester United dealing with these owners that we do have. Now hopefully under Murtough and Fletcher things can improve, and ten Hag's influence, Ralf Rangnick's potential influence beyond this campaign, and if he gets to work alongside ten Hag, I think it could be something that's really exciting when you look at the recruitment possibilities that Ralf Rangnick has underseen in the past, and potentially what ten Hag could do with that, what ten Hag could do with our academy. You know, there are positive things there, but we know with the owners that we have, with the way that we are commercially driven, that, you know, football isn't always the priority for them. That's why you see protests from Manchester United fans. Not only have they taken 1.5 billion out of the club, but they're also not great owners. They're not doing the right things to run a good football club, and that is why ten Hag, in the build-up to accepting Manchester United's job offer, was demanding certain things. He hasn't demanded full power and the ability to do anything that he wants, But what he has demanded is the ability to be able to chop and change the squad as he sees fit, to be able to have some power over the transfers that are coming in and working alongside the likes of Ralph Rangnick. And if he's able to do that and combine that with his forward-thinking, modern approach to football and the tactics that he uses, often you see a 4-3-3, often you see, you know, fullbacks spreading the pitch and centre-backs making runs up the pitch, and, you know, a team that plays a high press, you know, high risk football, but exciting to watch. And when you add that to the development of youngsters, that's everything that Man United fans want to see. He could be a successor next season and not win anything. His job is to get us back playing good football, get us back into those Champions League spots comfortably, and then the next step after that will be to hopefully, you know, see the fruits of his labour in his first season and begin to see a team that could eventually challenge for the league title. Pep City are always going to be, you know, huge threat for the title and all these trophies. Liverpool under Klopp are always going to be a huge threat. Ten Hag needs to get us into a position where we're in and around, you know, Chelsea, and then hopefully pushing on to get our title back, because it's going to probably be, you know, 10 years at the end of next season since we've won the league, and things can go on very quickly. Look how quickly the last 10 years have gone. We have to get these next steps right, but you do feel like we may have made the right decision in terms of the manager, because he's a manager that highly touted. Bayern Munich was potentially sniffing around him. You hear about another number of German clubs sniffing around him. You were looking at potential replacements for Pep Guardiola, and is a man that is a great football man, and he's also got a little bit of steel about him. You know, a little bit of that Dutch swagger. I don't know if it's the bald head, but he reminds me of a fierce guy like Yapstam. And hopefully he can imprint his thoughts on his team, because if he's as successful as he has been with Ajax, with Manchester United, then we're in for a great ride. But as I said, the club need to get things right above him. Like I said though, the news from Fabrizio Romano, just to recap: Erik ten Hag to Manchester United, here we go. Agreement on contract now set to be complete. Mitchell van der Gaard, priority candidate for coaching staff, that's his assistant. We do hear possibilities of the likes of Yapstam, Robin van Persie, Rennie Meulenstein. The talk of Steve McLaren has been rubbish. €2 million clause in his contract for Manchester United. To get him €2 million for Ten Hag could be Manchester United's best bit of business in an awfully long time. But Manchester United now set to confirm Erik ten Hag as the new manager in the coming days. That's coming from Fabrizio Romano, The Guardian, Jamie Jackson, and everyone else. Anyway, I can take a breather now. Thank you for tuning in on AdamMcKola TV. Go and check out the other video that we did earlier, where we discussed Cristiano Ronaldo, Paul Pogba, the protests, everything else, Bruno Fernandes, etc, etc. Go check that out. I'm AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.